Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Swanny County Board of County Commissioners meeting of November 17th, 2020. It's approximately 6:01 p.m. If everyone would please stand for our invocation and our pledge, Mr. Adam McCool lead us.
Please bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to come together as a community and leaders of this community to have a meeting to do what's best for this county, and may it be well pleasing unto you. Please be with our first responders, our military, and protect them through their duties. Please be with these commissioners that they make the right decisions that's pleasing to you and best for Swanny County. Please be with us as we depart this, that we return home safely to our families. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, I would like to take a moment to welcome everyone tonight. Also, I'd like to welcome two new commissioners we have, Commissioner Land here to my right, Commissioner White to my left. Gentlemen, we look forward to working together and for the betterment of Swanny County. We're grateful to have you on board, and anything we can do to help you as you move along, that's what we're here for. We've got many decisions to make as you move forward, and you'll learn as you go. Every meeting is a different one, but grateful to have y'all, and congratulations on representing your different districts. At this time, I'm going to make a little bit of a change in the meeting this evening. We're going to go down to item 13. I have a couple minutes here before we have a time specific. We have a proclamation this evening. Have a couple of ladies here that Miss Rachel and Miss Amanda are here this evening, and it's a great honor for us to present this proclamation. I will read it for you now. National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, November 2020. The proclamation reads, whereas for 41 years, Haven has helped provide comfort and dignity to thousands of people in North Florida, allowing them to live their last months, weeks, or days comfortably with the people they love. Whereas Haven utilizes an interdisciplinary, team-oriented approach to treatment, including expert medical care, quality symptom control, and comprehensive pain management as a foundation of care. Whereas, beyond providing physical treatment, Haven extends to the patient's emotional, spiritual, and family needs, and provides family services like respite care and bereavement counseling. Whereas, Haven provides community-based palliative care, which delivers expertise to improve quality of life and relief from pain, and can be provided at any time during the illness. Whereas every year 1.5 million Americans living with life-limiting illness and their families receive care from the nation's hospice programs in communities throughout the United States, including Haven. Whereas Haven is an advocate and educator about advanced care planning that helps individuals make decisions about the care they want. Whereas the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services have pledged to put patients first in all of its programs, including hospice, ensuring a coordinated and patient-led approach to care, protecting patient choice and access to individualized services based on a patient's unique care needs and wishes. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Lynn K. Stapleton, Chairman, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the County of Swanny, do hereby proclaim November 2020 as National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, and encourage citizens to increase their understanding and awareness of care at the end of life, discuss their end-of-life wishes with their families, and observe this month with appropriate activities and programs. Signed this day, the 17th day of November 2020. Ladies, I'd just like to say, there's a couple of us here that I know for sure that has first-hand knowledge of your care. Mine was most recent. My mother-in-law passed away and was at Haven for just awesome care. This was just a few months back. Commissioner Hale's father-in-law was there this past year.
Just a year.
And we both have the utmost respect and gratefulness, thankfulness for taking care of people and keeping them out of pain when there's not a whole lot left that can be done. So we're grateful for that. Gentlemen, if y'all come up, and ladies, if you come to the front, we'll take a picture.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Commissioner
That's
Fred.
okay. I've had some, my father, he was over at high school, he passed 2008. And it was, made the pain he needed to bear. You know, it's still a loss, but it was a whole lot easier than I had a brother who was 51, and he slept away. Hospice, he was in hospice care. It made the pain easier to bear. It still hurt, still like it was yesterday. But it made it so easy to bear. I appreciate hospice.
Does anybody else have something like that?
I'll just add that the employees that you guys have, and the care they give is it takes a special person to do that. I witnessed that. They're very professional people, and I just want to say thank you.
Mr. Lane, you got anything like that? Okay, let's take a picture real quick.
Mr. Chairman, there's a good motion and second.
Got the car in front of the horse.
That's all right.
Do I have a motion to approve this proclamation? Got a motion by Commissioner Fleming, second by Commissioner Hale. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Now we have a proclamation.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies.
Appreciate your kind words.
Thank you.
Moving right along, we have go to item number 12, we have a time specific. At 6:05 PM or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard, hold a public hearing to consider adoption of an ordinance pertaining to LDR 20-01, an application by Tim Alcorn, authorized agent for NCYT Holdings LLC to amend the official zoning atlas of Swanny County by changing the zoning designation for a parcel of property from agricultural zone to commercial highway interchange. Mr. Ron Meeks. At this time, we'll open the public hearing, approximately 6:09 PM. And if we have any persons here this evening that wishes to testify, our county attorney will swear them in at this moment.
Thank you. Anybody besides staff? Ron? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give before the board this evening will be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. That's all.
Mr. Ron Meeks, floor is yours, sir.
Mr. Chairman, board members, the application that you have before you tonight is an LDR request number 20-01. It's an application by NCYT Holdings. They had authorized Mr. Tim Alcorn as their agent. If everyone knows Mr. Alcorn, and he is a member of the school board, and I believe we have conflict of interest tonight, so he is not present to attend, but nonetheless, we'll move forward. The application for request was to change the zoning on a particular described property from agricultural 1 to commercial highway interchange. Subject property is an 8.10 acre parcel located in section 6, township 2 south, range 14 east. The property is currently zoned agricultural 1, and the request is to change the zoning to commercial highway interchange. The current future land use of the property is in an employment center. I know some of you will remember a couple of years ago we had re-identified the interstate interchanges in the county and expanded those boundaries of those commercial highway interchanges from highway interchange to employment centers on the land use map. Typically, your land use and your zoning maps will mirror each other. The underlying land use has to be consistent with the proposed zoning change. So the property that is requested is located within that employment center land use category. In your packet of information, I had attached a map, which is one that looks like this, kind of a blow up of the future land use map and the slatted red lines there that kind of encompass the intersection of Interstate 10 and US 129 North. Shows the layout of where the boundary of that employment center is. I took a little whiteout area and just kind of identified the location of that parcel with a site arrow. Also included in your packet was a boundary survey of the property showing the configuration of the 8.10 acres, and also had taken an excerpt off of our zoning map, which kind of looks like this. The green areas is agricultural, and in the black triangular shaped property is the 8.10 acre parcel, which shows its location and vicinity. The location of the site is approximately a quarter-mile north of the existing commercial highway interchange zoning that exists along 129. And this property actually fronts US 129. The request was presented to the Planning and Zoning Board for an advisory decision at their October meeting. Recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Board was for approval. There was a lot of discussion at the Planning and Zoning Board meeting about the location of the site. The thoughts from the Planning and Zoning Board, just to summarize a little bit, was that the location of the site was located within the employment center land use. And the second part of that was it seemed to be the zoning trends of development was towards 129 North. So they felt like they were comfortable with recommended to the Board of County Commissioners approval of the zoning request. We've included a ordinance in your packet for approval if the zoning is choose to be approved. If not, then we'll have to modify that, but you have that in your packet, as well as the corresponding completed application, letters of authorization, the locations of the maps, surveys, and future land use maps. If you don't have any questions of me at this time, I'll enter the file into the record.
Do I have any questions from Mr. Leach from the board?
I got a few.
Commissioner Lane?
I'm new at this, so apologize if I ask
Take your time.
unintelligent or out of protocol questions. At the current site, can you hear me? Are there already any 129 DOT access points? I mean, we know we have a traffic issue out there already. We've had a couple fatalities near that site. So traffic is a concern. As far as their ingress and egress, do we have a site map for any intended project? We know that in my real estate experience, DOT is not very lenient on giving those busy interchanges. The county, if I'm not mistaken, we are an adjoining landowner of this parcel.
That is correct.
Okay. And there is an access point there. Is the intended use of the subject property, do they intend on sharing our driveway with some type of easement, or have they contacted DOT for their own access, or maybe you have a site map for the intended project? You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, I don't have any pending site plans that's been submitted with the zoning change request.
Mhm.
I believe there is an access point there where the county's property is, and then the closest would be south where the J.W. Hill auction site is located on the same side of 129. I'm not aware of an actual driveway on this specific property.
Okay.
Kind of goes uphill there. It's a lot higher than US 129. But we don't have, the zoning request isn't necessarily pertinent to a particular project. That's one of the things that the board has to consider when they look at zoning changes, is that those types of uses that would be permitted within a highway interchange could potentially be on the property. So they don't necessarily have to submit a site development plan at the time of a zoning request. Sometimes we do, but in this fashion we don't.
Okay.
I asked those questions due to the traffic concerns that we know exist there. We've talked to DOT. I think DOT is working on some type of plan there, but we haven't seen anything formal about what they intend on doing there. I mean, we hear rumors of a roundabout, red light, maybe. That was, the traffic issue would be a concern of mine. If the project is gonna majorly increase the traffic flow coming out of that site. I think the speed limit there's like 55 mile an hour, I believe. And utilities, they stop at Busy Bee, right? Or sewer, water sewer.
Busy Bee is serviced by water and sewer and gas from the city of Live Oak. I believe that, I don't know if it stops at the site or goes to the northern boundary of the site, but it's at least to the Busy Bee.
And then, I guess I had a question for Mr. Pravat. Would this be considered spot zoning? In my real estate years at Florida State, I think we talked about that and learned about that, but and I know you're not a Florida State fan, so you may knock on that education.
Anything they taught you doesn't count.
At any rate, this parcel is isolated by itself in an agricultural, it is inside the land use area, I understand that. I get
And that's
that.
what makes it appropriate, because it is the employment center that we have. The employment center is specifically designed to be able to handle all different types of zoning that would be going in there. There's a number of different categories that could go there, including all the way down to agriculture. So that's why it doesn't, even though it's separated, as you see on the map, it has no, spot zoning doesn't have an application. By the way, while you were talking that, you were asking Mr. Meeks about, the application about traffic and those types of things. Those are typically things that are not involved in the initial zoning decision, but when they do come in with a site-specific plan, then the traffic consideration, what they may have to do or not do to be able to utilize the site and access, DOT access or our access would then be considered, at that time. But just to let you know that there is, on this southern end of this particular piece of property, the county owns that piece going across there. And this property, we've already granted them an easement to come across our piece of property on that side.
Okay. I guess those are my concerns. I personally think we're jumping the gun a little bit, going a quarter of a mile out when we have other vacant tracks there, and there's a huge traffic concern there. I know I've lost a personal friend there. He lost his life there, and there's big issues there. So
And we're well aware of that. I think Mr. Harris could address those concerns a little bit more about, what has been happening out there. And it is way up there on our radar.
I can speak to the traffic issue. We've had extensive conversations with DOT, repeated conversations, and we'll continue to do so. But the area that's most congested, that's been most problematic, is quite a bit south of this piece of property, right up next to Busy Bee and the interstate. This is farther out where we're going to be building a fire station. We know that we've got to do an improvement to get onto that roadway. And in this particular case, this property has the ability to share the same driveway that we're going to be building to our own property. So it's, in my mind, far removed from the congested area that we're having the problems in today.
And Mr. Chairman,
yes,
just to add to that, something just came to mind. Some of the discussions that myself and Mr. Harris has had with DOT, Commissioner Land up at the I-10 interchange, that is something I've been working on very hard. I do have some drawings of that I can share with you. I'd like to revisit that. Of course, DOT just got back to where they're actually meeting face to face, so I'm going to go back and make sure that's still their plan, but I'd be more glad to share that to you, some of the discussions we've had. But back to what Mr. Pravat said, and I heard y'all talk and answer the question, when the site development plan comes to our desk, I think we've had that same discussion across the road as to some of the requirements we would have as to getting traffic on and off that highway. So, and that's something when that time comes, we will all address that for sure.
Yeah, I just didn't know if we were tying our hands and opening ourselves up to liability by approving the zoning if there was already a project intended here, and we can't finalize DOT access,
You can't do conditional zoning anyway. That isn't even allowed. So anything that you do.
Yeah, I know we can't do
comes back
conditional.
with the development, a site plan when it is approved or proposed, is when you have an opportunity to participate in that conversation. In fact, let me just, the rest of the story on transportation, we're actually encouraging transportation to go all the way up to where we're gonna be coming out. The property's on the west side of the road there.
Yes.
We've had conversations recently about that property owner also identifying that same location, so the properties on the west side and on the east side all come together at this very point, which is farther north than, like I said, the other activities that we're all familiar with down there.
Any other questions for Commissioner Lang?
That's right, I'm good.
Thank you, Mr. Meeks. At this time, I'm going to open the floor to public comment. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this matter? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. And do we have any other questions or comments from the board? At this time, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, motion approved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Fleming,
Second.
second by Commissioner Hale. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries 4-1. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Meeks. Thank you. At this time, we'll take care of items 4 through 11 on our consent agenda. I think Commissioner White has recused himself from the vote on this.
On 4, and I'd like to also pull 10 if possible for discussion.
Okay. The first number you was for, is because, you want to explain that,
I have
just for the record.
I own 30% of that business on the store, which has a paid invoice of $74.55 if I'm reading that right. And I'm recusing myself from these paid invoices on, when you're item number 4.
Yes, sir.
Conflict of interest.
Clearly noted. All right, you have questions or concerns on item number 10?
On item number 10 is the road graders.
Yes.
And I was flipping through that on the financing part of that. I noticed that 6 of the road graders have an interest rate of 4.25%. 2 of them have a 3.5% interest rate. I was just wanting some clarification on that.
Mr. Harris, would you speak to that?
Shannon,
Yeah.
can you even respond to that without talking to them about why they offered those different rates?
I don't have any statement from them on the difference, on what it is. They essentially, when they gave us the quote for the 6 motor graders, that was at the previous year's price. And that could account for that difference. I don't know, because I did not raise that point with them. So they essentially offered us a cheaper price for the 6th graders. And without discussing it with them and putting the question to them, I don't have a good answer for that.
Just my concern that if we can get 2 at 3.5, why can't we get them all at 3.5?
We may be able to.
Mr.
Yeah,
Harris,
we can go back and talk to them about it.
is it going, will it be a problem if we bring this back on the next?
It isn't a problem to me at all.
Just as long as, I mean, we're not in the time to run this issue. We'll just pull item number 10 for this time, and we'll bring it back at our next regular board meeting.
Thank you, that's all I got.
Yes, sir. Okay, at this time, do I have a motion for items 4 through 9 and 11?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
since number 4 was pulled,
Okay.
would you do 4 separately
Yes.
from the rest of them?
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Batt. Do I have a motion to approve item number 4?
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Land,
Second.
second by Commissioner Hale. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. At this time, items 5 through 9 and items number 11. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner White,
Second.
second by Commissioner Land. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, gentlemen. We have one just additional agenda item, no, two, I'm sorry. Item number 15, number 1 on that. Declare 2008 Chevrolet surplus and return to the sheriff's office. And also, item number 2, authorization to purchase additional protective equipment and supplies to support core operations within Swanny County. Do I have any questions on this, or do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hale,
Second.
second by Commissioner Fleming. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, we got all the way to the end, then we're gonna back up all the way to the start. I apologize for jumping around tonight, and just trying to kind of fit everyone's schedule. Also, before we get to item 1, we'll do number 3, the approval of minutes from our November 2nd, 2020 regular board meeting. Any questions or comments? Do I have a motion to approve?
So,
Got a motion by Commissioner Land,
Second.
second by Commissioner Fleming. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, item number 1 for tonight, hold election of chairman for 2021. The new chairman will begin presiding over meetings on December 1st or sooner in case of emergency. Gentlemen, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Commissioner
make
Fleming.
a motion that you remain the chair.
I'll second.
second.
2 seconds. I feel special. So I got a motion by Commissioner Fleming, and Commissioner Hale, I'm gonna let Commissioner Land do
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
I got a second by Commissioner Land. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate the confidence. I have to say thank you. Sometimes it's not that at this time, we'll hold an election of the vice chairman for 2021.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I think Commissioner White is, I'm not gonna put words in his mouth, but
Not Mr. Hale.
got a motion for Commissioner, or by Commissioner White,
Second.
second by Commissioner Land. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So for the next 12 months, it's gonna be the same old same old. No, thank you all. Seriously, thank you. At this time, we'll, Mr. Platt, you have anything?
No comments. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Harris, you got any closing comments? Thank you, sir. At this time, we'll have closing comments from Commissioner White.
I'd just like to thank the citizens of Swanny County for electing me and putting their faith in me to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Land.
Make the new guys go first, huh?
Absolutely.
No, I'm just honored to be here. Like Franklin said, you know, I'm humbled that the folks District 3 had their faith in me to stand up for them and look out for Swanny County, not just District 3, but all of Swanny County. So I'm humbled, I'm honored, and hopefully I won't let them down.
Absolutely. Kind of skipped over for a second. Do I have anyone from the public wishing to speak? Any closing comments this evening? If you are, please feel free to come up.
I apologize, I
No,
didn't
you're
fill out a
fine.
card.
It's my fault. I've been all over the place tonight.
No, I messed up.
Just name and address for the record.
John Little, and I live at 9465 129 Drive. And
Welcome,
I am-
sir.
Thank you, Commissioners, and Mr. Harris. I am the Director of Communications for Swanee Valley Electric Cooperative, and I hope I'm doing my job right. Hope most people here tonight know that we provide electricity to the rural parts of Swanee County. And what a lot of people might not know is some of the other ways we impact the economy. And between our employees and contractors that we have, we support 115 full-time jobs. Our National Association did a study last year, and they estimate that trickle down through our other contractors, suppliers, local businesses. We support a total of 285 local jobs, and about $70 million worth of labor income. We also pay property taxes. Every poll you see, we've got about 80,000 of them in our 4-county area. We've got a lot of wires, we've got a lot of transformers and other equipment. We pay property tax on that. So that's why I'm here tonight, to present a check to the county for $806,747.29.
How did I almost miss this?
And, I would request that 800,000 of it go to the Economic Development Department. Is that what you had in mind?
I don't think he's gonna get that vote.
But that's up to y'all. So if I can give this to you, Mr. Chairman, I can.
You don't need to sit so close to him.
Appreciate all y'all do for the county, and we're honored to serve.
Thank you.
I had to pull this thing out of the envelope and look at it. I've never seen a check that big, I don't believe. But it's $806,747.29 right there. So we're grateful.
Thank you very much.
Moving ahead on our closing comments. Sorry about this evening, but Commissioner Fleming.
I just have a few small comments. I'd like to welcome Commissioner White and Commissioner Land to the Board of County Commission. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
And we look forward to good things. I did go to the swearing. Commissioner White and his wife, and they called it, the judge actually said, raise your right hand. He started off with the left hand.
Politician.
This is what I said. I was back in the back behind Commissioner, our chairman. I get mixed up on these names, but David. As you get older, it happens to you. It happens.
I write every commissioner's name down that's sitting right here because I get confused.
Right. Okay, but anyway, I was looking at every individual that got sworn in. And one gentleman, he kept rocking, he was going back, he was going forward. And I said, that was me. I was nervous. And then stage fright, when you come to the board, come to the meeting, staring at everybody, when you're talking to everybody, staring at you. But that's just the name of the game. This is what we do. This is how we take it. And I look at posture, and when you go to these bag meetings, they'll tell you that they can't teach it. You grow on it, and it's a beginning. And it's a learning process. This is what you learn. But I'd just like to congratulate y'all guys tonight. And Commissioner Hill, he got sworn in again. Been in that situation before. So, and to Chairman, Commissioner Stapleton, for accepting another term as the chair, you did a great job. You've done a great job. I'm glad to be a part of this machine.
Thank you, Commissioner Fleming. Commissioner Hill.
I'll just echo what Commissioner Fleming said. We were at the ceremony this afternoon. I want to thank the people of Swanny County, especially District 1, for having faith in me for another 4 years. That means a lot. I promise not to let you down. Worked twice as hard as I did the first 4 years. But it's an honor to have these two guys with us here. I look forward to working with you. It's encouraging to see you guys both engaged this evening, asking questions and having these discussions. And that's what we're here for. We're here to look out for the people and have those discussions. And at the end of the day, come together and do what's right for Swanny County. I want to say thank you. I'm looking forward to it. That's all I say.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Just got a couple quick things. Number one, I'd like to welcome Miss Lamb. She's here with Riverbend News. She's going to start showing a good light on the Board of County Commissioners.
I feel like I'm home. I did this
Yes,
for
ma'am.
30 years before. And we're starting another 30.
We'd like to welcome you. So she'll be documenting our meetings and putting it out there for the world to see. We're grateful for her.
You start buying her lunch.
Yeah, do that.
Other than that, I'd just like to welcome both of you gentlemen. It's It's a very rewarding job as you get into it. Right now, trust me, just like Mr. Fillon was saying, you're overwhelmed with things and trying to learn and trying to understand and get a hold of things, and you don't want to make a mistake, and it takes time, but I have no doubt that both of you will do great at it. I mean, it's just your demeanor, and you'll get comfortable and you'll enjoy and be rewarded for when you go home. It'll be rewarding to you for being able to help the people, and it doesn't matter if you're helping someone that's got a bag of garbage on the side of the road and they need to figure out how to get it cleaned up and how to get the sheriff out there to help us take care of things like that. I mean, just the smallest thing is so meaningful to some people because they've come for help for other things before and maybe didn't get the help that they needed, and when you're able to do something, they never forget the little things. It's one of those things, the people that you'll see the most, the little things will go the furthest, and I'm grateful for both of you and look forward to working with you. And there's no doubt in my mind, I know both of you. I know probably Travis a little longer, but I know Mr. White. I mean, we're going to have some discussions and debates, but that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're here to, at the end of the day, we're going to come together and do what's right for the people of Swanny County. But there's a reason there's 5 of us here, and that's for everybody to have an opinion and us to get to the bottom of it and make the best decisions for this county. So I thank y'all for that. At this time, all I need is a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hill.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Fleming. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you.